I've lived there for 22 years. I've stayed in close touch with everything going on there since very shortly after I moved there. I've attended council meetings for years, so I kind of know how things work and what's going on. I've also done a newsletter that can be subscribed to, and I've been doing that for 17 years. So I pretty well know the flow. And also I taught at East Coweta 10 years, so I figure I probably know a lot of the residents, if not in the town, the surrounding area, of course.
Okay.
And there's some things I've noticed that not big things, we're lucky in a lot of respects because we don't have the problems that a lot of big towns do, but we still have things that could be improved upon. Absenteeism. That sounds like a school teacher, doesn't it? We have a couple of council members that have missed 5 or 6 council meetings all in 1 year. And I just think if you not go tend to the town business, you shouldn't try to get the job.
Okay.
And I figure also, this is kind of unusual because this is the first time we've had 4 spots open at the same time. And so, of course, the mayor-elect has been there already, but we've got new people, so it's a good time to change some things and to call it attention without calling anybody down for anything in particular. Most of them are town business, though, because I also think there's a conflict of interest thing, which is going to always be an issue in a little tiny town, because you got a lot of smart people, you got a lot of business people, and you've got a really good mix. But also, it's really easy to get caught up in conflict of interest. And our ordinances all mention it, but they're not clear. And our charter mentions it, but not all that clear. And I think that needs to be dealt with right up front while we got a bunch of new people. The children's park and playground, that was there when they first did the park, and it was by far the most popular thing there. Anytime you passed by there, and I passed a lot, there were always kids at the playground, always. But it's been shut down now for at least a year, and it wasn't maintained, and it's been allowed to deteriorate, and there's talk now of refurbishing it. And it's going to cost a lot of money because they got to replace things, but I think that's a very good project to carry on full speed ahead. Well, that came up actually at the last council meeting. They were talking about, somebody made a presentation about how much it was going to cost them. It was a lot of money. They didn't talk about how to do it exactly that I picked up on. So that would be something it has to fit in the budget, or you have to get donations. So it would be something you would have to be developed.
Okay.
Unless they already have a plan. And since they're talking to contractors, perhaps they do. I don't know. I think what we had at one time, and you may never be able to completely get back but it used to be the saying in the town, it was the streets where old friends meet. And I think there needs to be some outreach to the residents now to try to redevelop that to some extent. It'll never be like it was. I would like for more resident involvement. And because it hasn't been for so long, it's going to be hard to initiate, I know that. Now, the town does have a really good website now, and they do have a really good Facebook page. And I use it a lot, so it's really good and it stays up to date. But I don't think a lot of people even know it's there. So I think you need the outreach to touch these people to get them into it so they'll take advantage of it. And then when you get them onto a central place, you'll be able to collect them together for different things and events. And I don't mean huge events. I mean coffee and conversation or Just any small thing to get people gathering again. Just what I said. That's going to be big.
Oh, okay.
It's really, and well, let me go back. That and traffic. I should have said that first. A lot of people laugh when you say traffic in Sharpsburg. But you would have to live in between Highway 16 and 154 and 54 to have any idea what I'm talking about. And Sharpsburg, except for Wellsburg Station, is sandwiched right in there. And there's always talk about growth, but there's never any talk about how to handle the traffic that's going to come with the growth. And I know the DOT is the ruler on that one. And the town can only do what it does through DOT, but sometimes they've done it. Now, Newton's big, but they got 25 miles an hour going through town. But there are a lot of smaller towns that have reduced. We're 45, and you can drive 45 just about anywhere. And some of them have 25, some have 35. So any reduction, right in that town area where, just past 16, there's a church and a curve and a hill. And school buses come into that intersection from 3 schools twice a day and more than one trip. It's dangerous. That's why I should have said it first. But that needs to be dealt with somehow. Have to get DOT to help you. You can't do it. I mean, the town can't do it by itself that I know of. Well, we've got some businesses there and have been established a long time. We've got some businesses that seem to be doing quite well along the highway, on Highway 54. And actually, the town has recently developed the Downtown Development Authority, which is concentrated. Actually, the members of that board are all on Highway 54, and none of them are residents. And see, I like residents, and I want some resident involvement in some of this stuff. Now, if they don't own a business, they can't be, you can't force that. But just, I guess, include everybody. And I'll be there. I will be there. I haven't, except for COVID, in the 17 years, I have probably missed less than, not counting COVID, probably less than 5 meetings. And I would make an effort to contact people. It's kind of hard to get hold of anybody now. And of course, that's true, I'm sure, across the board with anybody elected, but it's hard to get hold of people. They can have my phone number personal. I've been there before when you could do that, and it was easy to get hold of people, and you could give them, and I gave them my phone number. You're not pestered to death with stuff. You're just not. The times I was there. So they can have my phone number and email address, and I promise I will answer and listen. Well, if teaching doesn't teach you how to get along with people, nothing will. And dealing with people of all ages, because actually I've taught from 1st grade to 12th grade. So I've dealt with people of all ages. I've had friends of all ages. I have family members of all ages. I've had kids in the school here since I moved here, moved here in the 70s. And the last one was my great-granddaughter who lived with me for 7 years recently. So that experience, that's getting along with people and being available. I mean, being available is important. I do talk about antiquated. I recane in furniture, chairs, the old-fashioned cane with the holes of the rush, and so I operate that out of my home, and that is by appointment only. And actually, that would probably be this email address I would put up, because the name of it is Seats Sharpsburg, and I would be holding a seat in the town. Using the word business of what I do is a great exaggeration. I'm serious.
Oh.
I started not to even renew my license again but it's so infrequent that anybody needs that service anymore. But some people do. I had one man tip me $100, so I made his wife happy. I put seats in her chair. But how would it help? I don't know that it would, actually. But I'm there to see the others, and I'm close by, and I shop in the stores, and I'm in their shops frequently. And if a new one comes to town, I go see them, even not being on the council. I like it. I love my house. I bought my house on the spur of the moment, because I'd passed it and liked it and saw it in a real estate magazine and called them up and bought it that day. And I was teaching it. I just finished teaching at East Coweta.
Oh, okay.
So I already knew the area. Well, see, I was teaching right there, and at the time you could go down to the intersection and have like a teacher work days. You could go down and have lunch. And the tire place was there, and the gas station was there, and there was, it was just a little community area. It was comfortable, and the post office wasn't even there at the time. And it was just a comfortable little place to be, and I'd been there enough during the summer. See, when I was on what they call extended day, so I was there during the part of the summertime too. So I got to see it when I wasn't working, being located at the East Coweta right there. And so it was just pleasant.
Okay.
I like the location. I found out later it's even better than I thought, because it's close to Peachtree City and Newnan.